Hello, everybody, and welcome to another race here on SpeedGaming. This is the Pokemon Crystal Full Item Randomizer Tournament 2023, and we are just about to get underway here. It is Thirst Please and Chunktastic coming at you. This is, I believe, a 1 and 2 matchup. Both runners 1 and 2. I could be wrong. I don't have that in front of me, and I should have looked it up before we started. But yeah, both pretty good runners, and it should be an interesting race. So we are about to get underway here. And if you have any questions about the run, if you're new to Pokemon Crystal, ask questions in the chat. And if you are experienced, correct me when I'm wrong. So this is a full item randomizer. All of the items in the overworld have been randomized, starting with the Poke Gear from Mom and going all the way through the gym badges and everything along the way. You're going to see Thirst that is game to Saturday. That does help with the bug catching contest in the national park. And looks like that is the Sunday. Also, okay, you just lose that ability to warp out. And it looks like Thirst is going to take Octillery, and so is Chunk. And they're starting off with the Fog Badge. That is a big deal because Fog Badge is going to allow them to surf right away as soon as they get that HM03. And first, checking to see what Octillery is holding. It's a Rage Candy Bar. We'll see if that ends up getting sold for a little bit of extra pocket change, or if they're going to use it for healing. And that Carbos that both runners have picked up will also help with money situation. Thirst is making it to the Mart first. He's going to pick up items that they'll need along the way. Chunk right behind, doing the same thing. And here is Thirst's first encounter, and it's a Kingdra. Interesting to see if he will. Looks like he's going to try and catch that and possibly main to it. And Chunk just a little bit ahead, not getting that counter. Getting the Boulder Badge, and here is Thirst right behind, also getting the Boulder Badge. Chunk picking up a rare candy on the right. That'll come in handy towards the end of the game. Especially at the red battle, if they're a little bit under-leveled. It's a good way to level up. Hidden items are not included in this, but you'll see some of the runners pick them up just in case. You never know. Sometimes you might get a Carbos Iron, something like that, that'll give you a little bit of a boost in money. Sometimes, depending on the run, you need that extra little bit of pocket cash to spend and buy required, potions, revives, repels, all of those types of items. And Chunk is making it to that first battle first. Still running the Octillery. It's a pretty good moveset. I don't fault Chunk at all for sticking with it. But I also don't fault Thirst for switching to Kingdra, because that is a heck of a moveset, and Kingdra is a heck of a Pokemon. And with it being level 3, it's going to get a couple extra levels right away. And Stab Hydro Pump. Ooh, wow, that is a moveset right there. And they both finish almost at the exact same time. Almost perfectly synced up here. Both getting the phone call from Mom. Hopefully they're going to remember to hit no, and they both do. If you say yes to that question, Mom will take some of your money, you'll send it back to her, and she'll buy you dolls and other items that aren't going to help you in a race of this caliber. Both runners out of the cave at almost the same time, picking up that escape rope at the same time. Having that escape rope as that item is incredibly helpful. That will let both of them potentially skip shopping here in Violet and head straight to the ruins to pick up that escape rope chamber. But Chunk is opting to not go for that. Thirst is, but Chunk is going to head right in the tower right away. And really, it's a toss-up. Some runners like to do the escape rope chamber first. Some runners would rather do the tower first. Both give different amounts of items. Sometimes you'll luck out like Thirst did and get Poke gear. But that gear isn't necessarily going to help you this early. Unless you get the urge to call Elm or accidentally told Mom to save your money for you. And if I missed any of the key items, please let me know. Trying to watch chat, track everything along the way, so it's entirely possible I'll miss some things. Chunk has already made it to the top floor of the Sprout Tower. Going up against the Dugong. Meanwhile, Thirst is getting into that first battle. Chunk taking that opportunity to heal up between the two elders there, or in this case, the two megas. Yeah, Mega Snow Bear on the left, in case you are wondering. I did miss an item. It's the Glacier Badge. I'm going to assume Chunk also has that. And that he picked it up while I was looking at chat. Good morning, chat, or good afternoon, or happy time zone to you. No Mart items. And now here's Chunk. He's got the Hive Badge. So assuming things don't go too poorly for Thirst here, he should be picking up the same in just a little bit. Mega Furious. The random names are a lot of names of participants in this year's tournament. I had a race the other evening where my opponent was world record holder. It was the trainer class. So just a lot of fun things that you can see if you're paying close attention. Alright. Thirst is poisoned, unfortunately. Gonna have to burn that full restore early. Not a great time to use that, but it sure is faster than roping out of here and heading back to the center. There's Thirst picking up the Hive Badge also. And the Elder is going to give us the Mystic Water. So, Elder not required, but we did pick up a badge here, or two actually, so definitely a good move to do this. Some people will skip it. Like I said, the early game is kind of a runner's preference what order you go in for this. Thirst having to switch back to Octillery here to heal back up and to go against that water type. You know, not looking like that Kingdra's moveset is very conducive to water types yet, but hopefully we'll pick up some TMs along the way, or possibly a main switch. And on the right side of your screen, Chunk is to Falkner now, so we'll see what items Falkner gives us, what Pokemon he's got. Yeah. That Butterfree goes down pretty easily, and I would imagine that Igglybuff will also go down fairly quickly. And we are about to see what 2 items that Falkner gives us. And there's a full restore and black glasses, so Falkner is not required. Other than the fact that you need to finish Falkner to be able to move on and leave Violet. There is an NPC that will block you off until you go and pick up the egg from Professor Elm's assistant here. And we'll see if Chunk opts to keep the egg as an HM friend, or if he's going to deposit it. It looks like he's going to opt to keep it, so we'll get to see what that egg is very shortly here. And now we are to the point where Chunk is doing some shopping and inventory management. A lot of times you'll see the runners, you'll see them throwing away, or not throwing away, but selling items even if they aren't, if they don't yield a lot of money, just to keep inventory space free. There are a lot of items that the runners have to pick up along the way, and we definitely don't want to be picking up one of those important healing items and not be able to have it. Here comes the egg hatch. We'll see what that is. It is a level 5, whatever it'll be. And it's a Sandshrew. I don't think either runner will be main switching to that. Thirst is also going to keep the egg. And then here comes the gear. And this is pretty much tied up. Thirst hits the next route just a minute earlier here. Forgetting to repel. And now Chunk right behind, also about to pick up TM10, which is Spite. I'm going to guess that'll end up being something that both runners will sell for a little extra money if they get into a pinch. Thirst isn't going to opt to buy that Slowpoke tail. He does not have the million. And instead of an Old Rod, the Fisherman has an Ultra Ball. And now here comes that Sandshrew hatch on Thirst's side. That'll put both runners kind of back into even status here. Chunk actually pulling ahead and getting Surf. And now they have access to fully to Surf. So that'll open up 2 extra item checks here in Union Cave. We'll see if the runners opt to go for those early or wait a little bit. It is a significantly higher level gap, so they will not be able to repel encounters, but they may potentially find a new main switch. So we'll see how this plays out for both of them. And Chunk is going to teach Surf to that Octillery. Looks like Thirst is going to teach it to his Kingdra, and they're both probably going to save here just in case. Actually, Thirst is going to opt to grab that last item and then leave the cave, and he's not even going to bother checking. So this is the first major route divergence. We'll see if this pays off for Thirst, or if Chunk is going to have the advantage on this. And Chunk finding a Staryu Starmie's going to be a good main switch option, too. It's fast, it's decently powerful, and of course, with it being one of those water types, you know, you have Surf built in, so you have a good move almost guaranteed. And yep, there he goes, teaching Surf to it. And it's the pass. Oh my. We'll see how long it takes Thirst to go back and get that, but Chunk does have access to Kanto now. As soon as he gets to Goldenrod, it'll be interesting to see if he rushes Goldenrod now with that, or if he's going to opt to complete everything in Azalea. And I think this is why Thirst opted to skip, is the amount of encounters that Chunk is having to get here. And the SS ticket. So now, in addition to that, Chunk, in addition to Kanto, Chunk also has access to North Johto, so definitely a huge advantage for Chunk. Unfortunately, did not opt to exit the cave before going down that ladder, so he's going to have to go all the way back through the cave, but with repels, not a huge deal. Grabbing that escape rope and leaving here, and he's going to go and head and talk to Kurt and send Kurt down the well to fall down the stairs and go after Team Rocket. And then meanwhile, on Thirst's side of the world here, we have the final rocket in the cave, so we're about to see what Kurt's item that he gives will be. Having defeated Z-Move Snowbear. And Thirst is going to get a nugget for all of that effort. But in addition to the nugget, that also unlocks Bugsy's gym. And Thirst is going to take on the twins here. And that was a lucky confusion on Chunk's side. Getting that extra little bit of damage that was required to take out that Pokemon. On your left, Thirst is about to take on Bugsy. All of the Johto gym leaders are going to give 2 items, both a TM and a badge. But those are both randomized, so you know, you might get a TM and a badge, or you might get a potion and a ball. And Thirst is going to be getting a Karate Chop TM and the Quick Claw, so Bugsy not required. So we'll see now if Chunk opts to take on Bugsy, or if he's gonna wait and come back later. Thirst, it looks like he's skipping for now. Chunk and Thirst basically at the same point in the game right now, with that rival battle taking place. Both the runners opted to start with Octillery. And then Thirst switched to the Kingdra on the route north of... You'll have to forgive me, it's 1:20 in the morning where I'm at, so my brain is not fully operating yet, but the route north of Cherry Grove. And then Chunk found the Staryu in Union Cave basement. So we got Thirst going through here and doing the far-fetched little quest here. Chunk also doing it. Both of them picking up that TM04 Tail Whip. I can't see either of them rushing out to teach that move, nor TM44, which is Thunder Shock. And Thirst is going to save the game here and bike back into Azalea and see what this item is here. It's a revive, so that'll give Thirst the opportunity to reset and continue onward. And Chunk is about to pick up that revive as well. And with Thirst just a little bit ahead in the forest, he'll be getting some of these items. Chunk is going to opt to do Bugsy. I think that that's at this point early in the game, I don't think that's a bad move. It is 2 items. Chunk does have the option to go back and do it later and go, rush Kanto and maybe look for one of those level 30s. But also without having Fly, sometimes it's not as good of an idea to head to Kanto early and rely on Death Warping. So it really is a runner's choice. Thirst is going to opt to check that Surf item, but not check the Soft Sand Girls. Definitely not leveled up for it quite yet. And Thirst is going to head to the basement here and check 3 items. And he's got a Dragon Fang, a full restore. And a rare candy. And then on the right, Chunk is picking up that Quick Claw and the Karate Chop TM. Thirst is up on the 5th floor right now of the Goldenrod Mart, and gonna take a look at the TMs and see if there's anything that kind of piques his interest. Grab that Water Stone for the chamber in Unknown Cave. And Thirst is going to opt to pick up some of those X specials too, just to help out with some of these tougher battles. Sometimes if I'm feeling particularly like I might need some extra little help on the battles, I'll go ahead and pick up a few of all of those too. And sometimes I'll do it too just to have that marked in the bag so that if I do pick them up later, there's a slot already in there for them. So Thirst is going to do this Radio Tower quiz. Falconer does use bird Pokemon. Charmander not on the reels, and it is a full heal. On Thirst's side, you see him going to move Pokemon without mail. That's just a little bit quicker way of healing your Pokemon there, moving it into a box and then right back out. And that also gives you a save while you do it. Thirst picking up the heal powder. He's going to opt to reset here back to that tower save point that he just made. Basically, just trying to avoid getting a phone call from the bike shop guy. It's not a long time loss, but it is annoying nonetheless, and Thirst opting to take that little reset and avoid it, so... And now Chunk is also here in the mart, gonna check out what the TMs are. And he's not gonna be picking up any of those. Thirst also doing some shopping here in the underground basement area. Picking up some of the healing items. That is a kind of more cost-effective way of picking up some really good healing items for a little bit less. At the cost of your Pokemon's happiness, they are a little bit bitter, but in this kind of run, you're not going to be worrying too much about that. So, because as I learned week 1, you do not need happiness to evolve Eevee in this. And also with that Water Stone now, Chunk is able to evolve Staryu into Starmie, get a little bit of extra power there, a little extra speed. And Thirst was opting to teach Thundershock over Sacred Fire there, just to help with some of that water coverage, and it actually pays off right away with that Fearow. And it looks like Chunk is not going to take any of the Move Tutor moves. And Thirst is going to get Calcium and a blue card for doing Whitney, so no key items there. Whitney not required. Chunk also resetting here to avoid that Bite Call. And we got Thirst picking up Kenya here. And he's going to save. I'm guessing that he will warp back there if he doesn't like what he sees north of Goldenrod here. And Thirst is going to pick up that Max Revive on the route there. Definitely a good item to pick up. There are some items that you pick up and you go, well, that's not a key item, but that's going to help me along the way. There is Thirst. He's got the secret potion, so he will not have to make 2 trips up the lighthouse. Thirst is going to opt to do that strat where you start the bug catching contest, grab these 2 items, and then quit out of bug catching contest to warp back to the exit a little bit faster. Chunk is going to pick up Kenya now as well. And that is a dire hit. That's not going to be anything important at this point. And now you see Thirst is going to deposit most of his Pokemon here. Looks like Thirst is about to attempt a Death Warp here. Probably head back towards Azalea and go back and grab those items in the basement. Which, as we know now, are the SS ticket and the pass. So, 2 very, very important items here. And actually, Thirst is in the center before Union Cave, so... I'm going to grab his Pokemon back out of the PC. And head back to it. Meanwhile, on the right, Chunk picked up that item on the route and is going to pick up the items here in the National Park. Chunk will also get that secret potion, so... I would say we're about to see both of these runners pretty much tied up. And in lieu of using that... in lieu of using that reset method, Chunk is just going to opt to use the save and reset method here. Kind of banking more on that the items are going to be not important, which in this case, they were not. And now Thirst has the SS ticket. He's going to escape route out, realize that he is back at the start of Union, and actually head north here. So we'll see if Thirst opts to do some of these other checks earlier in the game that require surf, like the 2 surfing checks in Violet. And that is going to pay off for Thirst, because that is the plain badge. We're going to switch back to Thirst audio here, as he takes a very slight lead. Plain badge is important. That's going to give you access to use strength outside of battle, and also give you another item check in Goldenrod. What in the vanilla game would be the squirt bottle item pickup. And Thirst is getting the Hyper Potion there. He's going to save and then go south back to Cherry Grove here. There's a single surf item check that is available. And we'll see if he continues further to the east and goes ahead and picks up that some of those surf items to the east of New Bark. And it looks like he is going to try that. So, meanwhile, on the right side of your screen, a major route divergence. You got Chunk heading to Saffron City. He's going to attempt some of these quick checks in Kanto and possibly head to North Johto by way of the SS Aqua. And I picked a bad time to mute there and blow my nose. That was the mineral badge pickup on Chunk's side and the strength HM. So Thirst with the ability to use strength and Chunk with actual strength. So we'll see how that plays out. Chunk doing his best impression of Grandpa Simpson, going into the Silphco Tower and then leaving immediately, grabbing his hat, you know, putting it on the rack and going back out. And now Chunk is going to head south towards the Vermilion City area here. And Thirst checked that one item, didn't like it, and instead of surfing all the way back and checking the... Or maybe he did the item inside the cave, inside the falls. I might have missed that. And now Thirst is going to go back through Union Cave. Meanwhile, Chunk is going to check the TMs here, more than likely in the Celadon Mart. It's a different set than what you can get in Goldenrod, so it's always worth checking. But nothing piques his interest. He'll be leaving lighter in the TM bag, but heavier in the wallet. Other than the items he's going to opt to purchase here. And now Thirst is heading back up towards Goldenrod. Thirst hits that optional there. That's definitely not ideal, but that will happen. And chat also pointing out that Chunk hit that same trainer, so it's more of them continuing to be evenly matched up here. So Chunk is gonna surf here in Vermilion. There's some level 30 Pokemon here in the water, including this level 36 Seeking, and it looks like he's gonna opt to try and catch it. Water types, as I said earlier, is always kind of a good choice for a main just because of having the ability to teach Surf most of the time. And Thirst is going to opt to stop here in Cerulean City and do some shopping and inventory management. And if I had to guess, is going to pick up something, some repels here. So sell off his regular repels and switch to super repels. And now Thirst picking up that mineral badge as well. And Thirst about to pick up HMO 4 strength here too. So now technically Thirst pulling back into the lead with Chunk not having that plain badge. Yeah, and chat pointing out Seeking not a great water type. Yeah, I guess I agree with that. I would rather run a Starmie even if it is 10 levels lower, but that's just me. Mineral Badge was the lady on the route between Cerulean and Saffron. Thirst doesn't like the item that he sees on the Fisherman, so he's going to reset, head back to Saffron, and continue his search. Chunk is taking the boat here, gonna try his luck and see what North Johto has in store. Or maybe what the Grandpa's gonna have. And it is a nugget. Significantly more expensive and more worthwhile of an item than what the grandfather gives you in the vanilla game. Thirst is also opting to teach Sweet Scent TM to his one of his Pokemon here. So he will also get the opportunity to see these high-level Seekings. And now Chunk is in Olivine picking up some of these quick items. And with the secret potion in hand, he's going to head up the lighthouse now. Thirst seems to be a little conflicted. He's gonna follow Chunk into Johto here by way of the SS Aqua. I don't think I've ever heard the boat horns with the bike music before. It was very interesting set of notes there. Chunk is about to hit the portion of the lighthouse where you start to see a bunch of items. Meanwhile, Thirst is now poisoned in this battle. Interesting to see that he's going to make it through, given that his Pokemon are His Kingdra there is about 10 levels less than what that trainer has. Ooh, Thirst hits that optional in the boat. I guess I don't know what wiping to this trainer does, if that continues kind of like wiping to the sailor does. I don't know. We'll see, I guess, potentially. Actually, it looks like that trainer is not terribly high leveled, so we can chalk that up to potential experience gain, and he does get a level off of it, so, you know, that could be what Thirst is gonna play that off as. And Chunk gonna escape rope out of here. And Chunk is going to opt to do the same thing here that Thirst just did in Cerulean. Going to sell off all of his revives and some of the rest of his inventory and upgrade to some better repels, the Super Repel. Thirst is picking up some of these items here in Olivine as well, and he's about to take his ascent up the lighthouse. And with Chunk having completed that, he's going to opt to enter the center and leave right away to set his respawn. And then take on Jasmine here. Or Amiibo Plop. Ooh. Starmie going down to that Togetic there. And with that going down, you're going to get the Soul Badge and a Wing Attack TM. So we got Thirst with the Plain Badge advantage. You got Chunk with the Soul Badge advantage. Still very much a kind of a toss-up here. I'm going to switch audio to Chunk here, just because it seems like he's just a touch bit ahead in terms of story. So Chunk is going to head straight towards the burn tower here. Doesn't have access to Rock Smash nor to Strength, so he's not going to be able to get either of these items, but potentially he's going to opt to do early Morty. Maybe, we'll see. Could also be looking to see what the roamers are and see if either of the two roamers are worth main switching to. It's kind of a tough main switch to make, but you know, maybe if there's something good enough, it's worth spending a little bit of time on. Thirst is also going to go ahead and enter the gym here. So So he's just a few moments potentially away from having his very own soul badge. And I'm no cry expert, but nothing in there seems to, at least to me, be anything worth going after. And yeah, Chunk is going to opt to go early Morty here. We've seen runners live by Morty Skip and die by Morty Skip, so we'll see which way it goes for Chunk here. And what Thirst opts to do, being just perhaps maybe a little bit behind. One difference, though, if Thirst opts to go towards... if he opts to go towards Ekritik and towards Burn Tower, is he will have access to... He'll have access towards that strength item in the basement of Burn Tower. Interesting choice here. Thirst is opting to go towards Cyanwood here. He saved Ian Olivine, so potentially if there's nothing waiting for him here in Cyanwood, I would assume he's gonna save or reset the game back. But he does have full Cyanwood access, having strength, so just another piece of major route divergence here between both the runners. So far, one of the 4 items does not look to pay off, but we'll see. I believe he did save after Jasmine. I could be wrong, but I'm about 90% sure he did. And now Chunk is coming up to Morty himself. The role of Morty this evening will be played by an amiibo. Specifically, Amiibo Snope. That instant text is scrolling so fast it's kind of hard to see. And Thirst having a little bit of trouble with that Golduck. No items on Morty. It does not necessarily mean that Morty isn't required yet. As we continue on through this, could end up being that there's items required in Tin Tower. Chunk also going to opt to do the Kimono Girls right away, too. It's not a bad choice, but it is 5 battles, you know, back to back to back. For 1 item, so some runners will say that's not worth it and come back later if they're still looking for items. Some will take it a little bit earlier, like Chunk has opted to. And now Thirst coming up here on the Chuck battle. Not to be confused with the Chunk battle, which is going on the right side of your screen. It looks like we are about to find out what Chuck has in store for us. Neither of his items are key. Neither are the Kimono Girls, and Thirst is gonna opt to... Looks like he's gonna surf all the way back up towards Olivine, so that's gonna be a pretty big time loss there. But he does have it out of the way, so maybe that'll pay off later. We'll find out. Another advantage Thirst has having the plane badge that Chunk doesn't have is the ability to check some extra items in Mount Mortar when he gets to that point. That is where Chunk is right now, and Chunk has just picked up the Zephyr badge. He's going to get that phone call from Professor Elm about the radio tower takeover. And now Chunk is going to check out the surf ring items here at Mount Mortar. I believe there are 5 items here in the surf ring. Chunk getting a TM for jump kick here. And now Thirst is opting to do Burn Tower here too. I'm curious to see if this is so that he can do the Morty battle, or if it's so that he can do that single check in the basement that Chunk does not have access to yet. There's a quick attack TM, another TM that I don't think either runner is going to run out to teach. And with that portion completed, Chunk is going to head on east here and probably stop in Mahogany real quick and opt to head up towards the Lake of Rage, and it looks like that is what he's going to do. Finding a nugget here on the route. Thirst is gonna escape rope out to skip that text box with Ucene, and he's gonna opt to go back in, do the strength check here, and find a rare candy. So not a bad check, but not the one he was looking for, unfortunately. Chunk is going to get the max revive instead of the red scale here. And talk to Lance, and I would imagine that Chunk is headed towards the rocket hideout. And it would appear that is indeed where he's off to. Definitely a lot of items here. This is a little bit of a lengthier portion of the story. You don't have to complete this, the story portion of this for anything other than item checks. Doesn't unlock anything. On the left-hand side, you got Thirst is going to go through the Morty battle here too. As of this point, Morty not required, but we also don't know what is going on in Tin Tower, so we don't know if it's a bad decision yet. And so with that rocket defeated on Chunk's side, he is going to teach Flamethrower over Fire Punch. Kind of another sign that Chunk might be leaning towards continuing to main Starmie. I don't think that's a bad decision at this point. You've got Starmie into the 30s. The only real main switch options left that would involve switching to something higher level. It's going to be your Snorlax, your Lugia, and then maybe one of the 40s. So Chunk is going to turn off that alarm system there, hack into the mainframe. Thirst is going to go for the Kimono Girls as well, which we know already is not going to yield him anything important other than maybe some experience. And while we've got a little bit of downtime here, while we're just kind of going through some quick battles, if you are enjoying this race, first, be sure to give both Chunk and Thirst a follow. Both are very good streamers, and both enjoy playing this outside of the tournament. And also, if you enjoy this, we got some other matches coming up yet this morning here on the in the Americas, morning in the Americas. At 5:30, you got Chaotix versus Ethan. At 8 a.m., you got Furious Magic versus Giddy, and Trickums and Toxic at 3 p.m. So all of those times are Eastern time. I would imagine that the majority of the people that use Eastern time are probably heading off to bed about now, but maybe not. Chunk picking up the Thunder Badge here in the Rocket Hideout, so definitely a good choice heading here. On the left side, you got Thirst is going to check some of these strength items. Some runners would kind of wait and see what the waterfall situation is and try and get those items through there, but Thirst is going to go right for that. I believe 4 items here, one of which is the Rainbow Wing. So Thirst potentially 1 item away from climbing up the Tin Tower. And now Thirst also picking up that Zephyr Badge. So Thirst and Chunk will both be able to use Flash if necessary. And now Thirst is also going to head towards that Surf Ring. I don't remember if there was anything key down here. I don't believe there was, but still want to check that out. Chunk is going to hand off that amulet coin to make room for the Moonstone so that he doesn't have to go back around. And on Chunk's side, all he has left here is this rocket battle. The 3 Pokemon that are running the Evolution Tower scam machine. And then he'll be free to get an item from Lance and also head on to whatever his next set of checks is going to be. As we approach the 1 hour mark here. I'm no expert, but it would appear that neither runner is going to get the fabled sub 1 here. So if you were cheering for sub 1, you are going to leave disappointed today. However, that's also good for us because it means we have more race. So now Thirst is going to encounter that shiny Swinub. Get his max revive. Actually not pick it up, though, because he's out of space. And now he's going to be heading off to the underground there. Potentially to find his Thunder Badge. Or he may opt to continue east towards Blackthorn. We will have to see. Now Chunk is going to head into the gym here. As we do pass that 1 hour mark. Yeah, Thirst is, I would say, a little bit behind because he had to surf back from Cyanwood. He opted to do those 4 checks a little bit earlier. It didn't pay off for him. He does also still have the plane badge advantage. Really, I would say, even though Chunk is ahead in terms of story, not having strength, he's a little bit more restricted as to what he can do next. I would imagine that you're going to see Thirst head off towards Blackthorn and kind of loop back around. Whereas Chunk is going to be forced, if he doesn't have Fly here, Chunk is going to be forced to head back towards maybe the Goldenrod area, maybe Chekanto. A little bit more restricted with where he can head next, so. And speaking of, the gym here is not going to be giving any key items. 1 item left to check here is the guardhouse to the north. Chunk forgets to repel. Also realizes he's going the wrong way and gets an Ultra Ball out of the deal. So we'll see now what Chunk opts to do. We have some item checks off to the east here. It looks like that's the route that Chunk is going to go. He's not going to be able to complete the ice path, though, unfortunately, without strength. We'll see if he pops his head in and grabs the 2 items prior to strength, or if he's going to opt to just head back and go elsewhere. And none of the items on that route are useful. And he is going to opt to check those items, so we'll see what Ice Path has in store for Chunk in just a moment here. And one of the 2 items is not required. Thirst, meanwhile, on the left-hand side, is going to pick up that Thunder Badge and get to battling the other required rocket to get the password. Chunk is going to grab this last item that he can get. It's a Growl TM. And going to escape rope out of here and head off elsewhere. And Chunk talking to that optional. I would imagine this is going to be a warp, a death warp here. We'll see how that plays out given the level difference. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. Ooh, hitting another optional here too. Tough spinner there. That kind of goes the opposite way that you would expect, because you're so used to crossing past it from the left. Sometimes crossing from the right can throw off your movement a little bit. But that's okay, not a lot of Pokemon there. He's gonna shrug that off and keep heading to the west here. Thirst is gonna give that Water Stone to Octillery, make a little bit of room for the Moonstone so that he can continue on through the hideout. Chunk is, looks like, heading back towards Olivine here. So we'll have to wait and see if Chunk is heading back to Kanto or what the next play is for Chunk. Yeah, it looks like Chunk is going to head back towards Kanto now and towards Vermilion by way of the SS Aqua. The fast boat, if I may. Fortunately, having completed this, all Chunk has to do is go take a little nap in the bed and heal, get the free heal, and the boat will arrive in Vermilion, and Chunk is now free to move about Kanto. Now, the interesting thing here is going to be, is Chunk going to continue in Kanto, or is Chunk just going to head back to South Johto by way of Saffron? And it looks like that is what Chunk is going to do, is head back to the other portion of Johto. In case you're wondering why he had to take the long way around, it's because they do not have the squirt bottle yet, so the Sudowoodo is still there, separating the north and south ends of Johto. Now we'll see what Thirst opts to do here. Chunk, it looks like, is gonna go for... Chunk is gonna go for Radio Tower, it looks like, without having the card key. And you got Thirst here in the gym. He is going to take on the gym leader here. As we already know, no key items from this battle. But still, it's two item checks. So definitely worth doing. And yeah, we're gonna switch back to Thirst audio here, because we're just going to be hearing a lot of that rocket battle music on Chunk's side for a little bit here. And also, Thirst does have a little bit of an edge here right now, so... But this is still... You know, I say that Thirst has a little bit of an edge. This is still such a close race. This is not like a This is not a commanding lead by any stretch of the imagination here, so. So Thirst is going to head into Ice Path. The difference between Thirst and Chunk, Thirst backtracked and was able to find find the plane badge, which gave him access to use strength. So Thirst can actually complete the Ice Path. Chunk was not able to. So, yeah, Thirst, I would say, is in the driver's seat right now. Meanwhile, on Chunk's side, we're just still going through and picking up some of these trainer battles here. In a perfect world, you're not going to do a tower without the card key, but sometimes it is required to do it without, and it looks like that's what Chunk is hoping for. Thirst is finding the Dig TM here in Ice Path, so that's going to help potentially if he runs out of escape ropes. Won't need those anymore. And we got the Ultra Ball. And I guess really this is a huge play for Thirst. This does open up way more checks for him. In addition to what's here in Ice Path, you do have the items to the south of Blackthorn on the route. Out of logic, because he has Surf, potentially he can check the Blackthorn side of Dark Cave. There's the item to in the route that's blocked off. And yeah, Thirst is going to opt to do Blind Dark Cave here. And that is going to pay off for him. He's going to find the expansion card early. All he's missing now is the radio card to be able to go and access parts of West Kanto. And now Thirst is a little bit lost in the dark here, but he sees his end target, which is the Black Glasses guy. And that's the unfortunate part of doing this without having Flash, is sometimes you get lost along the way, but Thirst does find his way back and is going to escape rope out of here. Here on back and Route 45, he's got the 4 route items here that he'll check. Meanwhile, Chunk, having completed Radio Tower, is only getting a Headbutt TM. So this gamble did not pay off for Chunk. He's going to have to go find another place to go do some checks. And we'll see what he chooses to do next. Thirst is back here now between New Bark and Cherry Grove. And Chunk, it looks like, is going to try Soft Sand Girls to see if he can get some progression items. Thirst battling that level 5 rival. This is going to be a really tough battle for Thirst. It is a level 5 Chinchou. His level 38... Oh, never mind. Okay, he's done with it. I spoke too soon. So Thirst, having already gotten that Cherry Grove check, is going to head back north here. I don't believe he has Rock Smash yet, so he's not going to be able to do the rest of these checks in the Violet side of Dark Cave, unfortunately. And we know that Thirst has already done the 2 surf checks here. One of those surf checks happens to be that strength TM, or the plane badge rather, that lets him use strength. And now, because he has Zephyr badge since the last time he was here, he's able to check with that NPC and get an Earthquake TM. So we'll see if he ends up using that at all here. And if ooh, Chunk is getting cut from the Soft Sand Girls. That is another interesting route change here. That'll give him access to some of these other checks. Thirst is gonna check what looks like the Waterstone Chamber here. So yeah, Soft Sand Girls, not a scam tonight. Or this morning. Speaking of Rock Smash, there it is in there, and also the Storm Badge. Thirst now has 1/2 of the requirements for Fly. So Thirst is 1 step closer to getting some other checks, and he is also now... Oh, never mind. I thought he paused because of the radio tower phone call, but he would have already received that. If I know Thirst, he did that to trick me into thinking that it was the phone call. So Chunk is about to go up to Violet here again. About to get that Earthquake TM. And I would have to assume he's about to grab the plane badge here. Now Thirst with Rock Smash in hand is gonna, in the dark, do the Dark Cave. I'm gonna surf past that first Rock Smash check, get on his bike, and grab the rest of the Rock Smashes. And speaking of Earthquake, there is Chunk picking up TM35 Earthquake. And here come those 2 Violet Surf checks, so Chunk is about to have the plane badge as well. Thirst picking up the highest powered TM in the game. That is Splash. That is a useless item. Other than selling it for a little bit of dough. Not a TM you're going to teach unless you really feel like being a memer. So Thirst not finding anything there. Still using some save and reset strats with not having HMO2. Chunk is now going to return Kenya. I would assume he's about to... Oh no, he's going to head south here. He's got that Cherry Grove check left to make. And also with strength, Thirst is going to opt to do these 2 Slowpoke well checks in the basement. Chunk picking up that revive. On Thirst's side, these are 2 new item checks that we have not seen yet on either stream. And the first is not a key item. So with both of those checks done, Thirst is going to head back up Ilex Forest and head back to Goldenrod, it looks like. We'll see if Thirst Thirst is going to do the soft sand girls as well, so Thirst is just a few quick moments away from having cut. And now Chunk is, I believe, going to get these 2 items here. Without having Waterfall, he's limited to just these 2 items on the outside of Tojo Falls. Meanwhile, Thirst is making quick work of the soft sand girls here. And Chunk finds an elixir in the Tojo Falls proper, so nothing key here. I don't know if that was intentional to try and get an encounter, or if Chunk just didn't realize he wasn't repelled. And so now Chunk is going to have to make the surf back to New Bark. Thirst now picking up that HMO 1 for cut. That'll free up some items. Free up some more item checks for him. I guess most notably would be Lake of Rage, the cut maze. But Thirst is going to opt to head towards Kanto again. Having cut and surf will let him get the 2 additional items south of Lavender. But that is not what he is worried about right now. Thirst is going to go for Sabrina right away. A little bit of a level difference here, but Thirst opted to go ahead and grab some X items pretty early, so he should be in pretty good shape unless Sabrina has some really, really powerful Pokemon here. First one is a level 46 Croconaw. And so here come the X specials and X speeds. And he's going to take this opportunity to heal up and continue on with that battle. Now we got Chunk heading down here into Slowpoke's well. Armed now with the Plane Badge, so he is able to use Strength. There's having to use an extra X special there to make it through Raichu, and unfortunately just an antidote to show for that. The only Kanto Gym Leader badges, or gyms, that give you 2 item checks are going to be Erica and Jasmine. So, I think Thirst went for that just because there isn't fly access right now. Looks like he's going to head down here to Vermilion and talk to that NPC. Friendly guy, but no key items. He's going to head into Surge's badge, Surge's gym, and check and see what the Thunder badge would be. Ooh, Thirst almost there. Almost ran into the optional. That would be a not so great optional to hit, because if you do hit it in the right spot, you do encounter 2 trainers back to back. RP Priya in chat is asking, can Misty have fly? I actually don't remember the logic. I want to say that she can, but I don't know for sure. I'm actually booting up my other computer here so I can go into the Discord and see. I'm gonna check the logic map that's in there and just verify that for you. Thirst is making it through Surge. He's got that machine part now, so that's gonna free up a lot of other checks. DMing saying she can't have it, so yeah, that would be not one worth checking for fly. And Thirst is going to opt to not head towards Power Plant. Power Plant is not included in the fly logic here, so... meanwhile, you got Chunk is checking some route items. Getting an Ultra Ball there, and then just resetting back. Thirst is going to go for Erica's gym now, just kind of continuing his conquest of the Kanto gym leaders. And there are a few extra battles in this gym, but as mentioned earlier, Erica does give 2 item checks. Chunk right behind Thirst here. He's going to do the same thing, so both runners are going to do Erica fairly early, I would say. Not early. This is a fair point for Erica check. And now Thirst, it looks like, is just 2 battles away, or 1 battle away from getting that. Pryo, thanks for sharing that in chat. If you are in chat watching this live on SpeedGaming, twitch.tv/SpeedGaming, there is a link in chat right now to a Google map or a Google Doc that shows the map of what fly logic is. So definitely feel free to check that out. Because that's got some good stuff, also some tournament rules and, you know, other stuff that's worth knowing. And yeah, if you are interested in this run, definitely check out the Crystal Item Rando Discord. A lot of good resources there. And also stay tuned for future tournaments. You too could be playing in this tournament if you are so interested. Thirst is finishing. Erica gets a berry and a potion. I think that's probably the most offensive item duo that you could get from Erica here. But still a good check for both runners, so looks like they're both gonna head on probably towards Southern Kanto here. You know, we'll see what's waiting for us at the end of Cycling Road. That's true, Pokédex would be worse. Some runners are willing to reset over getting the Pokédex. So before heading on to take on Janine's gym, Chunk is going to stop at Celadon and do some inventory management, pick up some of these X items, X accuracy, X attack, guard spec, all of the X items. Meanwhile, Thirst rolling in here to the gym. We'll see what Fuchsia has in store for him. Kingdra getting low in HP and is going to have to go up against a Snorlax, so gonna take the time to heal up. Ooh, Snorlax has Stab Hyper Beam. That is a little bit scary. Fortunately, Snorlax opting to go with Fury Swipes on the next turn. On your right, you got Chunk rolling into town here too. Just a trainer away from being able to enter the gym and battle. Articuno getting burned by Kingdra here, but Kingdra getting paralyzed by Articuno. Trading status types. And here come the item checks. We have an escape rope and the Cascade badge. So this is required. However, does not help with the fly situation quite yet. And now Thirst is going to repel here. Having cut is going to let him check this single item here. He is desperately hoping that this has fly so that he doesn't have to go back up Cycling Road. Or actually, he doesn't have to. He can continue to go east here on Route 14 and just surf through. There are a few trainer battles required, but I think that's still going to be faster than holding up on Cycling Road for a minute and a half or whatever it is. Don't quote me on that. I don't think it's a minute and a half. And so we are passing that hour and a half mark here. Still no fly, but at least in Thirst's case, we're looking at 6 items from Go Mode. Linkshot in chat saying that they would rather fight trainers than fight gravity, and not a bad payoff there. Gravity doesn't give you experience; it just gives you sore legs. And then Thirst is going to cut through here, and now here come those item checks. Missing the first one, going back for it. Getting the Ultra Ball. I'm curious to see what Chunk ends up doing here, because he already has the 2 items here on this route. So I'm curious to see if Chunk is going to opt to take the Cycling Road side or take the battle side. Thirst now, with the machine part in hand, is going to head through Rock Tunnel here in the dark. And yeah, Chunk did hit an optional there. Thirst heading into the dark of Rock Tunnel. Grab that Super Repel. And we got a Wrap TM. And Max Ether. Max Potion. And Chunk actually took the intentional wipe there back to Vermilion and is gonna take the SS Aqua back to North Johto. So I would imagine that Chunk is gonna do Ice Path now. do maybe do the cut maze at Lake of Rage. Definitely a lot of options there that have opened up since the last time Chunk was there. And here's Thirst exiting the dark back into the light of day. And he is going to head to power plant, give the machine part back to the power plant director, and he'll get an item right away and unlock quite a few additional checks in Kanto. You got the radio tower item check. You have the Cerulean Gym rocket item. There's an item in Vermilion. Lots of options here. Chunk is unfortunately going for Cyanwood now. As Thirst learned the hard way earlier, there is nothing of importance there. So this is all a little bit of a wild goose chase. A little bit of a wild, I don't know, name a goose-like Pokemon chase. So Thirst is rolling into Cerulean. He is going to check the check this gym item. This is where in the vanilla game you would get the machine part. Here it's a max elixir. Thirst is going to opt to not pick that up and opts to heal here. Set his respawn point, his warp point back to Cerulean. And Thirst is armed with Cut, gonna take on the Nugget Bridge trainers, who are no longer on the bridge. They've moved to solid land in Crystal. So we are now at a point, again, in the race where all we are looking at are just some battles here while we wait for progress to be made. Looks like the commands are back now, too, so if you are so interested, go ahead and give both of the runners a follow. Twitch.tv/thirstplease, twitch.tv/chunktastic_. Please show both of the runners some love. If you are so inclined, you can also follow me. I am significantly less entertaining than both of these guys, so... And actually, I think... there's somebody earlier that wanted to check some stuff out. Dropping a link in chat here. We've got the bracket on challenge. We have a link to the Discord where you can get more information about Crystal's item randomizer, races, all sorts of fun stuff, and the Google Doc that has more information about the race. So, meanwhile, back here in live action, Chunk is realizing that surfing to Cyanwood was not the ideal choice here, and is going to take the long surf back to Olivine. And on the left, Thirst is, I would say, about halfway through the Nugget Bridge trainers, so still time to kill here in the commentary. As mentioned earlier, in just under 2 hours time, right here on twitch.tv/SpeedGaming, we have another match, Chaotix versus Ethan, 2-6. The Zazas and Garfield the Lightning will be on the comms for that. I will be commentating Sleep at that point. It'll be 5:30 or 4:30 in the morning here when that match starts. I kind of hope I'm not commentating Sleep. I think my wife would be very annoyed if I was commentating Sleep. Alright, Thirst is coming up to the end of this. Which, thank goodness for that, because gives us something else to talk about. Chansey opting to freeze Kingdra here, that's unfortunate. And Chansey, a little bit of a tank. And gives good experience. Thirst is going to check this cut item first. That is the mystery egg. So, boy howdy, we have another key item check. And Thirst is going to save before talking to this trainer. He's going to get the volcano badge here. So this whole section was very much required. And now he's going to have to battle this extra trainer to keep the volcano badge. So, worth it. Meanwhile, on the right, Chunk has the rainbow wing now. That matches what Thirst has. Picking up a mystic water in case he wants to power up that. And now Thirst is playing Reverse Cupid here and is breaking up Misty's date, sending her back to the gym. And I would imagine that he is about to battle Misty here too. But maybe he's just biking back through Cerulean. We'll see. Nope, he's here and he's opting to take care of this battle right away, so. And then on the right side of your screen, Chunk is going to opt to do the Lake of Rage cut item maze. So there's 3 items here past this cut maze. We'll have to wait and see if one of those items happens to be HMO2. If it is, that could be a huge advantage to Chunk. He is falling a little bit behind on the key item count. And there's the Earth badge for Chunk, so that is going to be required at some point. No immediate benefit there. Thirst not getting anything in the Cerulean Gym. Chunk gets Waterfall there too. HMO7. And Flash, so that opens up quite a bit of the map here. And now Thirst is back in Goldenrod. We'll have to see what item checks he's going for. Thirst is also... Oh, hang on. I was going to say Thirst is about to take on Tower, but he could just be healing here. No, he is going to do a card keyless radio tower, which, as we know from Chunk, is not necessary. So, really, both runners are just kind of taking turns with checks that we know aren't required. So now a little bit of that momentum shifts back into Chunk's territory here. And Chunk did check these first few items in Ice Path the last time he was here. However, he didn't have the plane badge at the time, couldn't complete it, so now he's going to come back and grab the rest. Head towards Blackthorn and everything that Blackthorn has in store. So, yeah, speaking from experience here, both runners are at about that hour 45 mark now. And this is where as a racer, you're starting to have some of that self-doubt come in. You're starting to question the things you've done, and some of that desperation is starting to set in for these guys, where both of them are wondering what check they missed that the other did. And to be completely honest, this is fairly evenly matched up right now. So, you know, neither runner really needs to start going for these Hail Mary desperation plays, your E4s, your those longer checks. Fire Yoshi in chat pointing out they must think that the other has fly. 100%. At an hour and 45, you would expect that you would have fly, but neither do. They both have. Actually, that's not even true. Chunk doesn't have either component to fly, whereas at least Thirst has the Storm Badge, so... But Chunk picking up the expansion card in the dark now. Looks like Chunk is also getting a little bit stuck in the dark here, but finding his way to the Black Glasses guy and is going to get Thunder and E-Rope out of here and check the 5 items that are on this route and the route south of it. And if you are starting out on this category and you're looking to remember how these ledges work, a helpful tip that has been shared with me that I will pass along to you is to follow the grass. And we're well past that, and I can't show you what I mean, but trust me that when you see the route, just kind of keep jumping where there is patches of grass, and you'll find it. So Thirst has now completed Vanilla Radio Tower, looking for that card key to grab the other side, and probably feeling pretty defeated right now. Forgetting to repel and getting a wild encounter probably is not helping that case. Again, speaking from personal experience. And we were welcoming in a new audience of raiders. Thank you for the raid. This is the Pokemon Crystal Full Item Randomizer Tournament. We've got an exciting match between Thirst Please and Chunktastic going on right now. We're an hour and 47 minutes in, and this seed has been fairly unforgiving, as evidenced by Thirst hitting that spinner optional there. And now, if I had to guess on the right side of your screen... Ooh, Chunk also hitting an optional spinner here. I would say fatigue is setting in for both of them at this point. And of course, an optional is named Darth Jarvitz. That's just funny. So Thirst, now armed with everything for cut, I would assume is about to talk to the Roar guy. That doesn't have a key item behind it. Chunk is here in the Waterstone room. He is probably about to pick up the Storm Badge, so he'll have his first component to fly. He's also got Rock Smash here, so that'll open up some other checks. And as predicted, that is the Storm Badge, which we know from Thirst doing that a time ago. So Thirst is now heading back towards New Bark Thirst does not have Waterfall, so he's not going to be able to progress past Tojo Falls here. However, he does have the Mystery Egg that Chunk doesn't have. And there it is. Oh my gosh, we have Fly. There is HMO2 Fly. So this is gonna speed things up considerably here. And I did not generate this seed. Snowbear, I believe, did. But I had to hand this off to both of the racers, so I feel a small bit of responsibility that I didn't just do that. And yeah, pointing out there that that by getting it where he did, Thirst now has 5 HMO2s, so if he was feeling a little bit generous, he would share the love there. On the right side, Chunk picked up the radio card in the flash chamber. And so now we'll have to wait and see if Chunk is going to hike back towards Vermilion and encounter the Snorlax. Speaking of Waterfall, Thirst is about to find that here in the Lake of Rage Cut Maze, along with an Earth Badge. And here is that Earth Badge for Thirst. And now, here comes the Waterfall HM. And if I was a betting man, I would say Thirst is about to pick up HMO5. I don't know what gives me that info. It might be watching Chunk do that a short time ago. Now with Thirst having Fly, he's able to quickly head back, and it looks like he's gonna do the Flash Chamber as well, so he'll be able to get that item, be able to get the radio card, head back to Vermilion right away, and take care of business there. And with having cut access, he'll also immediately have access to Pewter, Viridian, everything around there. So yeah, Thirst back with the advantage here. We've had the music on Thirst, the audio. I think we're gonna keep it there. Thirst getting an elixir, a star piece, an HP up, and a radio card. So Thirst is going to fly right away to Lavender Town and do the item check here first. It's an Ultra Ball, unfortunately. And then opting to go to Vermilion now that that other item is there. In addition to checking the level 50, he does have that item in the fan club. It's a max potion. Not a key item, but still good to have in the inventory. Now we're gonna tune to the Poke Gear, or the Poke Flute rather, on the Poke Gear. And if you are sleeping, you need to wake up now. I don't make the rules. That's just what the radio dictates. Ooh, and Thirst realizing now he is out of repels, so he's gonna have to fly elsewhere. Thank goodness he has Fly. Chunk is gonna take on Sabrina. Thirst getting 81 max repels. Probably more than he needs at an hour 54, but having been in the same position, he's probably a little bit frustrated that he didn't have them. And now he will go into his inventory and grab that max repel. And go through Diglett Cave, and we've got some more items coming up here. New, fresh checks. And one of them is the Rising Badge. So Thirst has now completed the Johto Badge collection. Thirst is going to go first north here, it looks like. Dodge the optional here and talk to the old man. And that's the Dex. That was a less than ideal choice. Dodges the optional spinner there again. Now we've got some Viridian Forest, or whatever you would call this, because it's definitely not the forest in this game. Got 2 checks here, and then I would imagine that Thirst is going to check these other cut-locked items back here. Nothing of note. And now we are into Viridian City. Thirst on the road to Viridian City. The Viridian cost-saving meadow. That's really funny, Link Shot. I like that. I'm gonna start calling it that. Thirst is into Victory Road here. We got 5 item checks here. One of them is the card key. So that will open up the other side of Radio Tower. I believe there's 3 item checks back there. But first, the Rainbow Badge. So Thirst is now 1 item away from Go Mode. Thirst is a Marsh Badge away. So if Thirst was starting to get antsy and thinking about going the route of doing the E4, that is probably out the window now. And here is the last item check. And yeah, Thirst is just gonna escape rope out of here. He's not gonna bother getting that fly point for the Indigo Plateau. And in he goes back to this area. There's some item checks down here that he wasn't able to see coming from the New Bark side. Chunk is going to do the now in logic rock tunnel. And actually, it looks like Chunk has the machine part. I did miss that on marking. And now Thirst flying back to New Bark. He's going to check with Elm to get that Rising Badge check. Just a Skull Bash TM. And now heading to Eckerteak. Thirst is going to do some more of the Mount Mortar checks, it looks like. Specifically the ones locked behind Waterfall. Also missed the Cascade Badge on Chunk's side, so if I miss any other item marks here on the tracker, I know we're getting to the end and there's not a lot left to mark, but if I miss them, please shout it out in chat, yell at me, be nice about it, but just let me know if I miss them, please. Chunk is coming up here to the power plant. In the vanilla game, you would get Zap Cannon there, and it looks like that wasn't it. Thirst picking up the red scale on the left side of your screen. That's going to open up one more item check from Mr. Pokemon. Another TM12 Sweet Scent TM. And there it is. It's the Marsh badge. Thirst is in go mode at 1:59.5. We are in go mode. So Thirst is going to fly to Viridian and take his bike south to Pallet Town, talk to Professor Oak. Professor Oak opens up Mount Silver to the player, and that is where our final boss of the game, Red, is waiting in silence. So now Thirst is gonna head west on Route 28 here. This will turn into not a route, Silver Cave entrance. And let's see, Thirst is going to do the healing on the PC rather than going through and talking to the nurse. And Thirst is not going to attempt to do Silver Cave here in the dark. But while he's in the menu, he's going to opt to teach all of those rare candies to Kingdra. Another option, too, for Thirst is he could potentially catch something in Red's room if he needs a backup. I don't think he will. I think at this point he's kind of desperate, probably thinks that Chunk is right behind him. Given that he didn't continue walking and burning off that rappel, I would think he's just going to dive right in here, which he does, and take on Fire Truck Nate. So we have a Machamp here early. Thirst getting off one Surf just to see. He's going to opt to X defend, with Egg Bomb being the first move that it shows. And that did do a little bit of damage here. Petal Dance also a little bit painful. But Thirst is going to continue to bulk up with X items. Machamp really doing more damage to itself than Kingdra did. And Starmie getting paralyzed there. That was lucky for Thirst. Starmie very, very fast, so even with the X speeds, it still outspeeds his Kingdra. And still going at it. Ooh, now Kingdra's in the same boat that Machamp was, doing more damage to itself than the opponent is. Fortunately, the full restore fixes that problem. And we are to Red's last Pokemon. Nidoking goes down to a Surf. And with that, with a final time of 2:03:20, our winner this morning, depending on what part of the world you're in, is Thirst Please. So I would imagine Thirst will join for an interview momentarily here. But GG to both runners. This seed was a doozy. Meanwhile, Chunk is going to go through and do the Nugget Bridge and everything. As we know, there are some items there. So this is important for him to do. And now joining me here in the SpeedGaming broadcast booth is Thirst. GG Thirst.
Thank you. Sorry, I muted. I didn't realize.
I was about to say, yeah, you're muted, so if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Yeah. I didn't think I had the muted icon on Discord, but thank you.
How did that race feel?
I made a play and it didn't work out. I was very... I know, there was not that many items left, and I was like, maybe Squirt Bottle is available, and then Fly might be outside of, like, where you'd assume it, like, post-boat, because, like, it shouldn't be behind the boat, but if the Squirt Bottle was available, I was like, maybe this is a good play. I don't think that was a good play. I thought I was super dead at that point. Yeah, that was a rough seed though. Fly was in a horrible spot.
Fly was in a terrible spot. You had key items locked behind Nugget Bridge. You had It felt like everything that could have gone wrong did in this seed as far as routing went. So
yeah, like Soft Sand Girl, like I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be able to like isolate where Fly is, and then Soft Sand Girls gives cut, and I'm like, oh god, this is so bad. But I had a plan of just doing the loop, and getting the machine part from Surge actually was nice, because then I didn't have to go back, because I was planning to go to the power plant anyways, because I was just gonna do Erica, Janine, go through Rock Tunnel, and then go the other side to do Nugget Hedge Maze, and getting the machine part was nice, so that worked out, I guess. That was like the only thing.
Yeah. Well, I would say everything worked out for you in the end, given the end result here, so.
The end was insane, like, we didn't get any items forever, and then all of a sudden, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was scared it was going to be on False Director. That's why I kind of committed to doing False Director when I got back to Johto, and obviously that didn't pan out, but there was only...
That one didn't pan out. You actually attempted that significantly later than Chunk did. Chunk went for that fairly early, so...
Yeah, I don't blame him, honestly. That's not a bad play. Like, it could very well be there. And yeah, I don't know. I was very, like, committed. The biggest reason why I kind of, like, decided to do the boat thing was, like, I really wanted to run the Kingdra, because it was really good. But, yeah. Oh, did I finish?
Yeah, I apologize for spoiling for the viewers on stream,
Chunk.
but Chunk is joining us now too. Chunk, good job on a bad seed. That was very rough.
Yeah, that seed sucked.
I totally was just, I totally was just, was like, you know what, I'm gonna risk it, and the risk just didn't pay off. So I was like, I basically knew I was done at that point.
I felt the same way the whole round, because I went out of logic for Fly, and
you did?
Did all of North Johto, and like, because I was like, maybe the Squirt Bottle is somewhere, and there weren't that many checks left in logic at that time. There was only like 6 or like 8 or something, so I was like, maybe the Squirt Bottle is available somewhere, and nothing. Like, Northern Johto was kind of bare outside of a few badges, but yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that Fly location was rough.
I still haven't found it.
Yeah, Chunk, actually, Chunk, you just found the item required for it. It was on the mystery egg.
Yeah, it's the mystery egg. It's awful.
Yeah,
nice.
That's cool.
But hey, you don't get Fly until late, but you get 5 of them. So I mean, that's gotta be worth something, right?
That's true. 5
we all
flies.
Yeah, we all.
Was...
If only we could fly to 5 locations at once.
That would be hilarious. I don't know how we would be able to keep up with the screen, but
reminds me of those runs where the streamers play like 9 games at once at the same time on controller.
Yeah, that's like a Shen special right there, for sure.
Yeah, if anybody in chat has questions for either of the runners, please throw them at us. But is there anything you guys want to add about this seed other than that it was not Not very good.
Can I just say I'm 4 for 4 on not fun seeds?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
you're due for a good one, honestly. This
it's
was
been-
awful.
it's all been rough.
So, Fly was behind Mystery Egg in Elm's lab. So,
And Mystery Egg was on Route 25, and and Cut was on Soft Sand Girls.
Yep.
So like it was just come on, you have to do Soft Sand into Route 25 and then go all the way back to Elm. It's like what?
and I don't want to give out results on other matches in this round and break the commentary rules or anything, but I also got foiled by Route 25 this week. So
Yeah, Route 25 is
Route 25's mean.
It really
I don't like
is.
it there.
Yeah, no, especially with the wilds it gave us in the water. I don't know if you checked the water wilds. I don't know what you ended up going with your main, but I stuck with the star you turned it into a star me.
Oh, was that one of the water encounters or no?
Yeah, it was a water encounter
Okay.
in the bottom floor of Union.
Of Union. Okay, yeah. So I didn't do Union early because I didn't want to like have to like sit there and get a million encounters and risk wiping, because I had a pretty good king. I caught a king draw on Route 30. So I just ran through Azalea and then went back, and I was like, great, pass and SS ticket are here.
Yeah, I got that.
That
And
was the
then,
first major divergence that you guys had on your routing.
I figured Chunk would go for it because we got surf right there, and like if you didn't have a good main, like it's definitely worth maybe switching. I was like pretty committed to the king draw at that point.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, bottom floor it did have some pretty nice encounters. I had the Starmie or Star U and Taros.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah.
Oh, there was another one. I can't remember what the other one was though. I think I saw something else, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, getting Star U is really good because like you're gonna go up to Goldenrod pretty soon after that, anyways. So.
Yeah, and then since we had Surf and it had Psy Wave
exactly.
on it.
Oh,
it had Psy Wave on it. And wait, is it Psy Wave or Psy Beam? I think it's Psy Beam.
I was gonna say Psybeam is the
Psybeam,
Psy Wave sucks.
no, not Psy Wave. Psy Wave.
Yeah.
Psy Beam.
Yeah.
Psy Beam
Okay,
and
that's
Fire Punch. So it had like a really good move and hypnosis.
Oh wow, that's great.
And hypnosis. So yeah, I had a really good move set. I was like, I'm just gonna keep it. And then I ended up it was just rough because I ended up just trying to level that thing up.
Yeah, that was also a part of the reason why, like, I saw Sea King in Vermilion Water, and I was like, I don't want to run a Sea King, and that's all I saw.
That's what I saw. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, do I really want to run this?
Yeah. So I was like, screw this. I'm going to North Johto. I'm gonna make a crazy play and like run with this King draw. I mean, I got enough levels. I got to like clear out all of North Johto because I just looped around through Ice Path, but like. Even then, it was
That was another big route divergence for you guys. Is Thirst? You went back to Violet and you got the plane badge fairly early.
Yep.
Chunk didn't do that right away, so when it came time to go through Mahogany, Chunk wasn't able to do all of Ice Path right away. So that was that was another big difference.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Especially you had the thing is, you got the pass earlier, so you were incentivized to go to Kanto. Well, I didn't have the pass yet because I death warped back to Route 32, so I did all the checks, all those checks around Violet and Tojo and stuff. But
Thirst Fire Yoshi is asking in chat, when you went to do Chuck, did you surf back to Olivine because you wanted to keep the levels, or what was the logic there?
Yeah, I saved and was hoping, like, I was thinking about resetting, but I don't know. At that point I was like, I gained like 3 or 4 levels or something, maybe like 3, I don't know, 2 or 3 levels. So I was like, I guess I'll just keep them because if I'm gonna try to clear out all of North Johto, the levels will be nice for like Mahogany Rockets and stuff. But yeah, honestly, I probably should have reset. Probably wasted a bunch of time not resetting, but I don't know. But that's a valid point. I saved thinking that I was gonna reset, and then I decided not to afterwards.
Yeah, we weren't sure in real time if that was an intentional that you wanted to keep the levels, or if you were nervous that you didn't save and didn't want to risk it. So.
Yeah, I knew I saved. I was like, I probably should keep these levels, but I don't know if in retrospect that was the right play or not. But yeah. Yeah, that was still, that seed. I don't know.
Yeah, that wasn't a good seed.
Yeah. Like, everything outside of fly was fine-ish. Like, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I flew through. I was like, is fly and the storm badge gonna really be the last things I get? But then I ended up actually going back to the Waterstone room.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of things I ended up skipping because I was like, oh, but what if there's nothing there? And I just waste 2 minutes and then having to go through Union another time.
exactly.
After.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just my thought processes. But as soon as I got to the point where I was like, oh, there is no real other fly points where fly could be, or a half a fly could be, it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm just screwed. I have to go all the way back just for that.
Exactly. Yeah. I had 2 checks left that were in fly logic at one point because I had the cut check on 32 and then I had the egg. So I had to shimmy. I beat the false director. Bash was saying I beat the false director way later than you, but
I did it way early.
yeah. Which isn't.
I the first time I came back to Johto from the magnet train. That's when I did false director and soft sand because I was like, oh well, I mean, might as well try them both because I'm right here and I don't have fly.
Yeah, exactly.
One of them was actually important, which was nice.
Yeah. Soft sand was extremely important in this ROM because there was a bunch of stuff behind cut this ROM, a crazy amount, because there was two progression items in Lake of Rage cut.
All three.
All three were Lake of Rage were just, that was insane.
Yeah. But especially with not having access to fly at that point, it was right. I guess Thirst, you had access to fly at that point, but
yeah, because I knew because we didn't have Squirt Bottle yet. I didn't go back that way. Well, Chunk had cut at that point. I'm pretty sure. I didn't have cut when I went there the first time, so definitely I wasn't gonna go back to check those because I knew fly couldn't be there.
But, makes sense.
Yeah, unless Squirt Bottle magically up. My one fear was Squirt Bottle was going to be on Elm for that mystery egg instead of Fly, because then it could have been in any of the cut checks after, in North Johto. So, but yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Do either of you have anything else you want to add, or anybody in chat have any other questions?
Just thank you for doing commentary, Bash. I'm sure everyone enjoyed your commentary, and thanks Chunk for the fun race. I'm sorry, Fly was obnoxious. But...
Yeah, I seem to be the bad luck charm this tourney. Anyone who has to race me just gets the fun seeds, you know.
Well, that makes it interesting because then you're just always scared that you're behind because you're like, where could it be?
Yep. Yeah, I've been really anxious.
Yeah, me too.
All of these runs.
Yeah. So when both of you are, I guess I have another question. At what point in the race are both of you freaking out and going, "Oh my God, the other one has fly. They're one badge away, and I'm way behind." At what point do you start thinking that?
Well, I'm kind of a doomer, so I kind of feel that at 45 minutes.
Same. Yeah. The doom and gloom, especially this seed where I went out of logic of fly and I got completely punished for it. I
mean, we both did the same thing, so I mean, we both got punished for it.
Yeah, well, I did it. I did it right away. I cleared out all of the Kanto free checks, and then I just went straight on the boat. I didn't even.
Yeah, I think that's what I did too.
Okay,
but all the really free ones, yeah, all the ones you can pick up without battles or really.
'Cause I assumed you went back. Did you go back and get like cut first before you went on the boat, or did you just go on the boat right away too?
No, I went right away on the boat.
Oh, so we both did the same
cleared,
thing.
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying. We both
Okay.
cleared North Johto first, and
Okay,
then went back. But I didn't get. By the time I went back again, I didn't have either point of fly. So
Yeah,
or like
same.
yeah. So I ended up going like, because at that point I did get the plane badge when I went back to North Johto, and then I just went ice path and just did all of that.
Okay.
Like super out of logic there, just to see if there was like just anything
That can help. Yeah.
like anything that could give me like a little leg up or anything. But
Yeah, I got fortunate that I found plane badge because I was able to. I didn't have to go like back to Goldenrod, or I didn't have to go back to like the boats to get back to Kanto, because I just went through Ice Path and then went around back to Violet. Like in the beginning, like when I first went there, so I feel like that probably saved me some time, maybe. But yeah, fun seed.
Yeah, that's one way to describe it. Or at least that's the way the SpeedGaming approved way of describing
Exactly.
Well, thank
Gotta
you guys.
keep it PG.
Yeah, thank you guys both for the awesome race here, and for everybody that is still hungry for more Crystal Rando. You got about an hour and 8 minutes. We'll be back here on SpeedGaming, Chaotix, and Ethan26.
Ooh, that should be a fun one.
That'll be a fun one. You got Furious Magic versus Giddy at 8 a.m. And you've got Trickums and Toxic at 3 p.m.
Ooh, yes, I forgot about that's today.
About 12 hours from now. A little under 12 hours from now. So, yeah, any final thoughts?
No, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their night.
Exactly. Likewise. Well, day or night. Yeah.
Yeah,
for you. Yeah,
one
for
of
you
is
definitely.
racing. One of you is racing very late at night, and the other of you is racing very early in the morning.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I guess it could be considered late, but I mean, this is my normal schedule actually,
Yeah.
because I work nights. So yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it made it pretty easy to schedule just because he works nights and I've been waking up early, so it works out pretty well. With an 8-hour time difference. But yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed that, and yeah. Good luck
Please-
next round, Chunk.
Yeah, same to you.
Thank you.
Please
Thank you.
give both of the runners a follow. And yeah, that's all
and
we
Bash
got here.
too. Don't forget to follow Bash.
Not so much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for the race. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you back here in a little bit over an hour for another race. But till then, have a good day or night or time.
Or time, yes.